Stop. Nah, wait a minute.
Well, guess what, family? It's Friday, not Saturday. It's Friday, and it is time for the Faction Reloaded, a very special SummerSlam edition. What's going on, good people? Of course, I am Gerard Bonner. I've got my good people with me, of course, all the way from the East Coast with all the honeybees. Wrestling with Honey is here. How are you, Honey?
Buzz, busy bees. I am here. I am exhausted. I am busy, but I'm loving it. I'm excited. It's hot.
Yes.
So SummerSlam must be approaching. But I'm excited. I'm happy to get into it, and always good to see you guys.
Very good. And to the West Coast we go for the councilman with all the predictions, the one and only Will Ferrell. How are you, sir?
The councilman is tired, man. I am
understood.
My clients are running wild, getting ready for the biggest party of the summer right now. Oh, so many interviews, so many press junkets, so much pasta everywhere. Oh, I will be glad when we are at Monday.
Yeah, it's about to be a fun time for sure. Shout out to Lovely and James. They are out doing some things, probably getting ready for a big weekend. And there's a lot to talk about. Lots of wrestling this weekend, of course. The 2-day SummerSlam, we'll get into that. We'll also get into Ashe Wrestling's Black August happening tomorrow night. We've got our predictions, and we're going to talk about some of our favorite SummerSlam moments from throughout the years. It's kind of hard to believe that SummerSlam is a grown adult, 38 years old is SummerSlam, which is wild.
My God. All right.
38. We'll get into all of that in a little bit, but first let's talk about the strong ripple that nobody expected to happen Tuesday night. It's NXT, and we're preparing for all kinds of potential things, a North American title match, a few other things that are on the horizon, and out of the blue shows up Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller, who we have not seen in months on WWE television, shows up, cuts his version of a pipe bomb, dare I say, a scathing promo where he had plenty to say about what has happened to his career. He alluded to a few things, including the New Day, Austin Theory, and then he throws a bomb at the men's division in NXT, saying the women are running the show and nobody has stepped up and all of the things. I guess I want to start by asking this to you, Honey. Did Grayson Waller say the quiet part out loud?
I absolutely think, yes, he did. He did exactly what he had initially stated he was going to do, which was rattle some cages. Not only rattling the cages of Austin Theory and the New Day and also the men's division NXT, but as well as bringing in TNA's division as well. So he's talking a big game, and not for nothing. I have, if you had been watching my watch alongs, or if you had been watching me, period, I had very much high hopes for Grayson Waller before he even moved up to the main roster. I think this was a really good move because it's a fresh start. It's like we hit a reset button for him. And once we saw him, it's like, oh, because it's like you don't realize how long you've forgotten somebody until they show up again. Mm-hmm. And seeing Grayson Waller was definitely kind of refreshing for me. And I'm kind of excited for this because it's like, you know what? We could use a shakeup. And the men's division specifically, because the women are rocking it, and he's told no lies there. And we've said this many times that the NXT women's division is probably one of the best divisions out there. But I believe wholeheartedly that Grayson did exactly what he said he was going to do, and it worked, and people are buzzing.
Buzzing indeed. So shout out to Boza, who's in the comments. He says, Grayson saved his job, in my honest opinion, with that promo. He was sent down to NXT to be that credible name to help with the main roster, a la Finn Balor. Let me ask you, Councilman, do you think that Grayson Waller saved his job with this particular promo? And what does all of this mean for Grayson Waller and the NXT men's division?
I mean, well, first, I don't like that Grayson Waller didn't mention me in his whole promo or what he said, because I've been saying that across several sources for months, almost a year now. And he said it word for word. I was like, wow, that sounds so familiar. I wonder who said that before. It was your councilman. So, you know, if I'm looking at Grayson Waller, like, why would you not look to your councilman for great aspirations to save your job? If it saves it. I'm not convinced like Honey, though, because we saw someone else do something like that who got a whole bunch of tweets and praises, and did it go anywhere? No. Because LA Knight did the same thing. Guess what they did? They gave that to Seth Rollins to go say the same to Roman Reigns. So does it keep him relevant for the next 2 weeks? Sure. What he does with it is up to him. But if it is at NXT, I think it's something that can work for Grayson Waller, because Grayson Waller did not get his legendary stint in NXT. Like, if I think about it now, I don't have a Grayson Waller highlight except when he fell through that ladder and messed up his elbow. That's it. I don't know no championship reigns. I don't know anything like that. Him being back here with the roster that he has, it feels like, okay, you're back in a class where you can really make a name for yourself. It seems like it's not just the funny Aussie anymore. It's your personality now is starting to match your in-ring capability. And so I hope that that's what we start to see here, maybe even going to TNA and stuff. But I want to see some titles around Grayson Waller. So when he goes back to WWE, he's taken a lot more seriously, and hopefully we can start to see that raise along with what Austin Theory is doing right now. Because even though he's still in the tag team, he seems to be more at the forefront of the vision now.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting as you mentioned Grayson Waller. I think this is a moment where we can think that timing is everything, because Grayson Waller's first NXT appearance was in NXT 2.0. And in 2.0, it very much hearkened to the concept of the golden age of WWE, where there were just characters galore and everything was over the top. And we got the Grayson Waller effect from that, which, you know, I think because there was such a heavy push for NXT 2.0 in that War Games, I don't know that anybody actually believed that the 2.0 guys were actually better than the, you know, other era that was being presented during that time. I think now Grayson Waller goes back. Certainly the men's division is different, but it is rebuilding. You've got some veterans like Naraku that's there. Cruz Montana, now, you know, former Mike Santana is now there. You know, Mason Rook is now there. You've got a number of names that are being built or that have some degree of pedigree to them that's reshaping what that men's division looks like. So I think adding him to that gives him the opportunity to actually be in an environment that arguably for the first time he can be taken seriously. What he did with New Day, he was not taken seriously. What he did with Austin Theory, he was not taken seriously. I think he has to control that narrative this time around. And I think it requires more than a promo, because talking was never an issue for Grayson Waller. He could always talk. The question was, could he be taken seriously enough to get it done in the ring? So we'll see what happens, but certainly that ruffled a number of feathers in NXT this week. It's been the talk of the socials, and I certainly was very intrigued to see what was going to happen with Grayson. I mentioned this, but I think it is worth a conversation, because I don't think we talked about it last week, and that is the official debut of Cruz Montana, formerly known as Mike Santana, now in NXT, cuts a promo to end the show, ends up in a bit of a tussle between him and the NXT champion, Tony D'Angelo, and the aforementioned Grayson Waller.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll start with you since you waved the flag there, honey. Your thoughts on Cruz? The Montana Santana is just messing with my head right now.
Yeah.
Cruz Montana officially in NXT. What are your thoughts about this, and where do you see him going?
So it's funny because Councilman and I, and along with Dion on our Kayfabe podcast, we've had numerous discussions about where could Mike's formerly FKA Mike Santana, now Cruz Montana, should go. I did say the main roster. I thought that they should have got him all the way up, but I stood corrected, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is the smarter move because there are still a lot of fans and faces that don't really. They see the familiarity because they remember him from TNA and seeing him through spurts when they had the whole takeover thing and all of that stuff. But now I think is where we really get to see how he works. We get to see how he moves, how he can execute. He has a lot of seasoning already, and it's not just the Boricua in him, but I think that there's a lot of great potential in keeping him in NXT because with his credibility as a superstar and what his journey's been, he can help others in that locker room as well. So in the midst of that, while also Grayson Waller is shaking things up and rattling cages, I feel like is going to be a momentum shift for the men's division. But I'm happy for Cruz Montana. It's still getting, like you said, taking some time to get used to saying the name because we've been so used to calling him Mike Santana. But we understand why and the meaning behind the name, which was also very interesting as a dedication to his father. So I'm looking forward to this journey for him.
Councilman, let me ask you this. We saw the former Evil enter NXT. He shot right up to the title contention. He lost his 2 title opportunities to Tony D'Angelo, and he is a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Does Cruz Montana need to win the NXT championship? Or does Tony D'Angelo ultimately retain and build his legacy by defeating these former world champions?
It's a good question. Yes, he does need to win it. He does need to win it. Unlike Honey, I did say he needs to come to NXT because although he is a TNA legend, there still needs a legacy to get started in there for higher ups to see. Like, even though, like he became world champ, we're gonna be honest, like when we talk about the story of TNA champions, it won't be far-fetched if Mike Santana doesn't get mentioned. His reign wasn't that long, it wasn't as impactful, but he did get it. He did reach that top. But we need to see what you do look like as the face of a brand. Like, how can that be moved, especially with who you are? Because we've seen like what someone his style is. So it's just, and so you just kind of look at trajectory of where we are, which is why I say NXT, because if you, not to compare him or anything, but Mike is like Damian Priest. Mm-hmm. So now you look at WWE, what did WWE do with Damian Priest? Now, Damian Priest had won the NXT title. We may had seen a different side of him, but it took a while. Judgment Day, everything, and then to finally get a chance to be that world champion. So it can be the same trajectory for Mike. But I think he does need to be NXT champion to just show, like, hey, what a proud Boricua from the Bronx can do. Now, his name, however, I don't like it. I don't care where it's from, honey. I don't like it. I get it with Evil. Too many of us know Mike Santana. And I think that's one thing that should definitely be discussed when it's like, yo, I get what y'all doing, WWE, but some of these people deserve to keep their name. Like, it is okay. You don't have the rights to it. Like, allow them to be able to keep this and go about, because just like Blake Monroe, I'm like, I get it. People gonna know that, but it was like, yo, man, that's Mariah May.
But I got it.
You know, well, shout out to Dion. Good to see him stopping by. He says Cruz Montana is a dope name. Councilman, let's see. Boza says Councilman is representing those people whining that Santana ain't Santana. Here's the other side of the Santana issue. Which again, we don't know what happened behind closed doors, but there's an interesting thought. You know, one of the reasons why WWE does what they do, and I know you know this, Councilman, it's all about that good old IP, you know, that intellectual property that they are able to make money from endlessly. And so the real challenge then becomes, I don't know what kind of deal they offered Mike Santana to have some percentage of his name, because they weren't going to just let him have all of it. They were going to have some of it. And I don't know if the deal that they offer, I don't even know if the deal was even on the table to say, hey, you know what, here's an option for you to keep your name, but we get this percentage. And perhaps as a businessman, he said, nah, I'll just take the percentage from this, because if and when the time ends, you know, I can go back, because we're seeing this now with Kofi and Austin Creed now officially done with their non-compete, going out there, you know, doing shows and things like that. And what makes that work is people know Kofi because Kofi's his actual first name. Austin Creed was able to get his name out there with Up, Up, Down, Down. So it wasn't such a jarring kind of move. So I think it could be, and this is a wild recognition, a recognition that time in WWE for life isn't necessarily guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So understanding that, it's like, not that you're looking to leave, but you set up a scenario where if I have to leave, there's still some degree of benefit of recognition for him. But either way, he's here, and I think it's going to be an interesting road. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of ways this can go. Like, does Mike Santana need to be the NXT champion? I don't know. And I say I don't know because, you know, with Evil, for instance, his reputation is such that he's a veteran. So him being NXT champion, okay. But Mike Santana, I think, is a different ball game. Ultimately, I don't know how long Mike Santana needs to be in NXT. And I think that could help figure out that particular answer. Either way, I think the addition of Mike Santana, Cruz Montana, boosts up that men's division significantly.
Yes.
But I think it's a mistake if they feed him to Tony D'Angelo.
I do too. Because you need, like, only reason why I say he needs a title, because picture what he does. Imagine him being on Raw, just standing in the crowd with the NXT belt on.
Sure.
Look, sure. Don't even got to say nothing. It's just like, yo, who is that up there? Wait, that's the NXT champion, Cruz Montana. And he just keep doing that. And then eventually he do that shot, and then Kathy Kelly walks up and talks. And it's like, yo, you've been coming here week after week. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
Like, works with him as champ. You know, Tony D can't do that.
And to that end, I think that you have the former TNA World Champion in Joe Hendry that had a very brief NXT championship run. You know, I think the NXT championship can do some things. Now, Joe Hendry's another conversation, which we won't do that. We won't do that because that'll take a while.
No. You know what it is? You know what I'll say when it comes to that? He holds the burden of something you have always said, Professor. What do you prefer more, the entertainment side or the technical side?
Correct.
Because he became so entertaining, we see what WWE will do with a person who's more entertaining, and then you get what you got Monday.
It's a fact.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's disappointing to say the least, but I don't even want to go there. I'm still.
So let's move from there to another interesting moment that happened prior to Tuesday night, prior to the concert that we didn't expect Monday night. Instead of a concert, we got a coronation Sunday night as AEW presented Redemption. And I want to talk about the fact that we have 2 new women's champions in AEW. Let's first start with the brand new TBS champion, that being Maya World, who shocked the world in some eyes by winning that championship, defeating Hikaru Shida, capping off what may have been the biggest 2-month run we've seen for anybody in AEW. Let me get your thoughts, Councilman, on Maya World now as the TBS champion.
Well, there's nothing I enjoy more than getting up and being right about what I say. Your counsel, like, that's what WWE stand for. Will wins everything. I always win. Everybody the whole week when we were doing predictions on these shows. What was the former champ? What was her name?
Hikaru Shida.
They was like she gonna win. She gonna retain. I say, you know what? Nah, Maya finna shock the world. Maya gonna win that championship. Everybody looked at me like I was delusional. They was like, nah, man, she just got there. I was like, you know what? Nah, y'all don't see it, man. I was like, yo, Maya World got something, man. I've been like, when I seen her at ACW, and I was like, that girl, that young lady gonna go places. Then she went, we saw her in Ring of Honor, and I was like, yo, I would not deny it if she'd won that championship, and look where we at. Dreams coming true, man. I love to see it. I love to see a Black woman being successful. I may be wrong with my information, but I also believe she's from Texas, so that
she is
Dallas, Texas. Okay, so that makes it even more warm to my heart, man. Just I love seeing someone who has found a passion in something that they want to do, no matter what anyone told them and told them, like, I don't think you should do that. There's no guarantees in that. And then having one of your biggest belief systems no longer being here. And it's like, yo, to sit at the top of a division today, this is what wrestling is about, man. Shout out to Maya.
Shout out to Maya World. I've got some Maya World commentary I'll bring in just a second. But on the same night, we also saw Willow Nightingale become the AEW Women's World Champion, defeating Tekla and now punching her ticket to All In London. Talk about what this means, honey, to have these 2 women really be the talk of that pay-per-view and AEW as of right now.
I think they both earned the talk. They've both earned the buzz, if I can so put it as a pun. But I love it. Willow Nightingale winning the AEW Women's World Championship is such like a huge moment for her. I think it's something that we've all been pining for her as well for quite some time. And the fact that she's literally heading into All In as champion makes this a bit bigger for her. So I'm looking forward to this journey, and having Willow and Tekla be at the forefront of the talk right now for the conversation shows how much this women's division is really starting to thrive without, and this is not to be offensive or anything, but without having to rely on the Tony Storms and the Mercedes Monets. We're now building our women's division. And it's something that honestly, Courtney has talked about a lot as well, so I think that they both absolutely deserve this spotlight for sure.
And before you say something, Professor, I just want to throw this out because I've been throwing it out on other platforms. Tony, if you watch it, let Willow and Mercedes close out. Let them close out. That's all I'm saying.
You did say that.
I get Will and Kenny, but if you want that to be memorable, let Willow and Mercedes close it out. Yes. I promise you they're going to deliver.
I agree with you. I'm going to start by saying this. This moment of Maya World and Willow Nightingale says to me that 2026 so far is, and I'm just going to say it, the greatest year in the history of AEW. I think it's taken AEW 7 years to finally find a formula that works. They are understanding for them. They are where the best wrestle. But to me, they've also finally started to understand what makes professional wrestling what we love so much. It's a great story. And the rise of Maya World is an incredible story, a story that they told from her entering, it's hard to believe that she's only been signed to AEW a handful of months.
Less than a year.
And her signing was relatively quiet. I mean, they signed her and then, she got put on a pre-show and a random match on Collision here and there inside of a tag team. But then the door opens up for her to enter in as an alternate into the Owen tournament the same week that her brother dies. Like, this is the kind of storytelling we used to absolutely love from WWE. You take these kinds of moments and you put the rocket ship on her. So we're like, okay, it's inspirational. She wins the first match. That's a surprise. Wow. But certainly she's not going to defeat the forever ROH world champion Athena, who, by the way, is her trainer. Like, the story.
It's fantastic.
And she wins to go then to the finals of that tournament at a major pay-per-view at Forbidden Door to battle her dream opponent and her idol in the wrestling business, Mercedes Moné. This is an incredible story that nobody saw coming at the start of the Owen tournament. And now you parlay that to a month later, her getting an opportunity at the TBS championship on the pay-per-view and winning. Like, this is brilliant storytelling from AEW. And as fans, we've given AEW a hard time over the years, but we've got to scream just as loud when they get it right.
Yes.
And then them getting this right with Willow. Willow, one can argue, is one of the homegrown AEW stars. And we have watched the trajectory of a Willow Nightingale since her first appearance on AEW Dark. We've seen her choose to not go the way of evil and decide to still be happy-go-lucky, be positive, be loving, have an edge when she needs to scrap, but she's who she is. And now she gets to ascend to the world championship. I mean, this is again the kind of storytelling that for a company that doesn't always fancy itself for the kids, this is for the babies. This is for the little girls who are trying to figure out, can I still be positive and win the big one?
Right.
And she gets to do this. So I want to shout that out. And now we walk into All In, the biggest show of the year, with a long-term story for the women in Mercedes versus Willow for the world championship. And I'll tell you, I do think it would be if ever you're going to pull the trigger, truth be told, that story in AEW is a longer running story than the Kenny Will Ospreay story. Ooh. And I know that's for the men's world title, but at some point they've got to pull the trigger and have a women's match main event, a pay-per-view. I think this is a good opportunity to do it. This is actually there are two places I could perfectly segue here, and I'm just going to choose one. I might tell y'all the other later. But when you look at this incredible excellence in terms of the idea of two Black women main eventing the biggest PLE for AEW.
Okay.
Man, like, yo.
One place it's already happened is in a place called Ashe. And Ashe this Saturday will kick off an amazing weekend of pro wrestling in Charlotte as they present Black August, which I'm just going to say right now, if you're a fan of Ashe wrestling, this is going to be the card of the year.
Nice.
This is going to be the card of the year. You can watch this for free on the YouTube channel for Ashe 24 hours from now, which if you're watching this later, it's not 24 hours. But if you're watching live, it's 24 hours from now, 6 p.m. Eastern. You'll be able to check it out. I mean, when I say this card is stacked, I mean, you've got a tag team title match happening where the new tag team champions, the Ugly Gang, will be taking on the Wild Jamaicans. Now, if you don't know who they are, they're a team formerly known as the Kentish Brothers, former tag team champions in All Caribbean. They've spent quite a bit of time in Reality of Wrestling. Now they're making their official debut in Ashe. I'm very, very excited for this. This is going to be a banger. Treehouse Lee versus Saeed Al-Sabah, two guys who are like brothers who parted ways back at the May event. And now they're finally going to go one-on-one, which I think is going to be crazy. I mentioned 3 title matches. I mentioned first that tag title match. Before that, there's another great women's match. This is crazy, actually. Jordan Blade against the Kick Demon Janai Kai. Guys, I know there's supposed to be an underground match on Tuesday, but this here,
this is the real underground match.
This is the real underground match right here. Okay, like it's gonna be its own thing. And speaking of women's matches, the Ashe Wrestling Women's title is on the line. Charity King, over 200 days as champion, defends against Savannah Evans. Guys, this is going to be a problem.
That's the one. Yeah,
that's going to be guys.
Yeah, anything with Charity.
I would feel bad for whoever's after that match. I would like,
hey, like we gotta follow that.
Yeah, hate to be you guys. Y'all, somebody better fall into the crowd after that match.
Suicide dive into the crowd, something.
It's gonna be as hard hitting of a match as you can imagine. And then your main event will be the Ashe Wrestling Men's Champion Darius Carter, who's now held that title for 600 plus days, will defend against the World Is Yours Rumble winner Yaya the Gifted One. And you want to talk about long-term storytelling? Almost a year to the day, Darius Carter fought Yaya and lost. Lost via countout, couldn't take the heat, left the match for fear of being pinned. Now the championship is on the line, and it's going to be a very, very special night. So you guys make sure you check it out. It's going to be very special. Again, it starts at 6 p.m. Eastern on the Ashe Wrestling YouTube channel. Forget whether you want to watch SummerSlam or not. You need to watch this show.
Set your notifications. Make sure y'all do that.
That last match, that title match, if you want anything close to a Cody Roman at WrestleMania, that's it. Like
I'm telling you,
Darius and Yaya, it's about to be a story told in that main event.
Yeah, you look at Yaya the Gifted One. If you followed Ashe, I mean, he made the highlight reel night one. There's no way that a 300-pound man should be doing a swanton from the top rope. He does it with the greatest of ease. He has been an incredible, incredible wrestler who has never really gotten a one-on-one shot for that championship. He did it by winning that 30-man Rumble. But Darius Carter is really the picture of the guy you love to hate. I mentioned Darius Carter. I was thinking about his entry into Ashe, where he interrupted the return of Darius Lockhart. We've seen the battle of the two Dariuses. Well, if you remember, there was just Darius Lockhart back at the end of May, had a fight for the Ashe Men's Championship, lost that match because of interference from his best friend, Billy Dixon. They got into it again at the Rumble last month, and now they're going one-on-one at this show, on top of everything else I just told you.
In a grudge match.
Guys, it's going to be wild. I'm telling you. So, do what you need to do. If you can get to Charlotte, please get there, be in the building. Some very special things will go down. I'll be there. Lots of other amazing people will be there. I'd love to see you in person, but if not, make sure you are watching, join the live chat, all the fun things. What a weekend to celebrate Black August. And we'll be talking at that show about what Black August actually means. It's not just a cool name. It's a representation of something very, very significant that happened in the community. And we'll be talking about that as well. So lots to pay attention to for a really important show for the culture of pro wrestling. Yes, sir.
Also, just to add in there, what y'all talking about August, man, it would be so dope if they do what I said for All In, because then Mercedes would make history again. She would be the first, not only Black woman, but the first woman to mainline two promotions' biggest PLEs. She did it at WrestleMania with Bianca Belair, and if she could do it at All In with Willow, like, all the hate gotta stop. Yeah. At that point, all the hate gotta stop.
Yeah. There's a lot of history.
You take them shades off, honey. You take them shades off.
All right, fine. Can I put them back on as long as I grab the purple wig?
No, not during Black August. Not during Black August. No. Oh, do that in September.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. That's so funny. So yeah, Ashe is going to be a great time. We will take some time a little bit later down the road to dig into predictions for All In. But of course, this weekend is SummerSlam weekend. So I have a few ways we want to go about this, but I think we will we'll start talking about the current SummerSlam card, and then we'll end up talking about our favorite moments from SummerSlams gone by. All right, that's what we'll do. So, of course, this year, because I think we'll end on a high note. I think we'll do it that way. All right, so this year's SummerSlam is, the 38th year for SummerSlam. SummerSlam began back in 1988. We're now in our second rendition of a two-night SummerSlam. Of course, it's going down in the hustling, bustling metropolis that is Minneapolis, Minnesota. So US Bank Stadium. Let's get into night one of this, and let's see what you want to see, what you're looking forward to the most. Night one, SummerSlam Saturday, looks like this. We will have we have two 6-person tag matches. On the men's side, it's the Bloodline, the Usos and Jacob Fatu, taking on Royce Keys, LA Knight, and Solo Sikoa. On the women's side, we have Fatal Influence, which includes the women's tag team champions, taking on the Bella Twins and Paige. The women's world title is up for grabs as we get a rematch of the Queen of the Ring finals, where Io Sky will challenge Liv Morgan for the women's world championship. Gunther takes on the former NWA world champion and current general manager of SmackDown, Nick Aldis. Then you've got what I'm calling the co-main event. I don't think that's presumptuous of me. Hell in a Cell, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar 3, and then for the WWE Championship, CM Punk defends against Cody Rhodes. All right, what are you most looking forward to from night one, honey?
Hold on, just want to fix one thing.
Oh, okay.
Nick Aldis is no longer the GM. He relinquished all of his power when he signed his contract.
I think he relinquished it for the night.
No. He's an official competitor. It's on WWE. His picture is up.
Really?
Yeah, he is officially a competitor in WWE. I don't know if it's just for SummerSlam, but when I saw it up there, I was like, so is it not the only match? Like, is Magnus back?
It's a thing?
Yeah, I was like, hold up.
That's big.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm just throwing it out there to be known. Like, hey, it was said that's up there.
Yeah. I mean, can I choose two? Because I'm looking forward to two things.
You can choose two. Go ahead.
Okay. I asked, Will. I asked.
Of course she is.
Of course, I'm looking forward to the obvious because I did write my comment in there. I'm looking forward to seeing Brock Lesnar go away and Oba dominate. Screw your streak, Brock. Don't care. And I am very much looking forward to Gunther and Aldis's match, though I don't think it's going to be what we think it is. Yeah.
Now, that could mean a few things. Would you care to elaborate on that?
Well, I just, as far as what we've seen, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It could go either way. Honestly, it can go either way. But I have a very distraught feeling that TKO is going to make us very sad with that match for some reason. I just can't help but feel that. Just me personally. But I am very happy to see Nick Aldis in the ring. I just want to see what he does with it. We saw that he had that interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he was emotional. So he emotionally ridden for this match. He doesn't want to disappoint the fans. So you know that he's very much invested in this. So because literally of that clip, I'm excited to see him in action and really get his shot. You know, he's definitely deserving of it.
Okay. What are you looking forward to night one, Councilman?
Man, she said it. There ain't nothing to repeat. The exact all the exact reads. Which is why when she said, "Can I do two?" I'm like, "Come on, man! At least
sorry,
one of these."
You know what? I should have. I probably should have done that.
Well, I'll say this to that end. Somehow, and I don't think this was intended. I like when it happens organically. Nick Aldis has become the sentimental favorite of this year's SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
I think every year, unplanned, we get a favorite. By far, he is the sentimental favorite for so many reasons. I mean, think about this, watching someone who carried a brand, literally is responsible. And I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He carried one brand and birthed another. He carried the NWA brand into a space of resurgence. But he birthed what we know as AEW. Everybody gives credit to Cody and the Bucks, but what was the lone title match at that very first All In? It was Cody Rhodes against Nick Aldis for the NWA World Championship. That was the only title match that night. It had the big fight feel and legitimized what at the time was the largest indie show in history at over 10,000 fans. If you don't have a world title match to be defended there, it doesn't hit the same.
No.
That was the match that made Cody, in the sense of saying, when I say made Cody, it gave him a world championship for one. Yeah. But on top of that, it said this is the man that can now lead this indie movement that we would now know as All Elite. So for someone who did that, who carried the NWA world title for over 1,000 days, really led the NWA into its resurgence during the Power era and all those things, and they mistreated him, and they haven't been the same since. He comes straight out of wrestling to get into a suit and to be the general manager. And he's done it with great pride. He's done, but think about it. If you've ever been in the situation where you were the star at the company you worked at, and now you go to work at another company, and you should still be the star, but you're now viewed as, okay, this entry level, it's kind of safe, and you do what you got to do until you finally get your shot. And I think that's why he was so emotional, because all he's ever wanted is to get that shot inside of a WWE ring. And for his WWE debut match to be at SummerSlam against a career killer, I think that's a big deal. Very big deal.
It was like seeing Batman just being Bruce Wayne. He's Batman. You never gonna put the suit back on?
Right.
And you still built like that?
Yeah.
But also, too, gotta give flowers and respect, though, because it takes two to tango. And Gunther has been an incredible heel through all of this. So for anybody that want to sit here and say Gunther is boring, I don't know why he keep getting put, This is why you seeing it right here. This is what we wanted to see.
Ganta.
You know, it's so interesting because people forget, you know, a year ago at SummerSlam, Gunther was defending the world title against CM Punk. I mean, like, this guy has been main event ever since he walked into WWE. And so for a match that many of us thought would simply happen at Saturday night's main event, to be one of the 6 matches happening at SummerSlam Saturday is a big deal. So congratulations there to Nick Aldis. Okay, night 2 of SummerSlam looks like this. We've got the Intercontinental Championship. Penta defends against Chad Gable. The U.S. Championship is up for grabs as Trick Williams defends against the returning Baron Corbin. The number 1 contenders match for the WWE Championship, Finn Balor against the former champion Sami Zayn. Speaking of championships, the interim WWE Women's Championship will be decided in a ladder match. We currently know 4 of the 5 competitors. They include Charlotte Flair, Jade Cargill, the U.S. champion Tiffany Stratton, and Chelsea Green. Don't know who the 5th person is yet. We may speculate on that. Danhausen against the AAA Mega Champion Dominic Mysterio in a human money on a pole match. And then the main event, the World Heavyweight Championship, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins. What are you guys looking forward to for night 2?
You go
Professor,
first.
I have 4 matches that I'm looking forward to that I would like. That's okay. I have 4.
And wait. Seth is in here and said, let me be correct. It's very hard for me to do that. So let me, you know, I like to do it correct. Human monies. That messed with everything in me. Yeah. All right. Human monies. Good to see you, Seth. All right. Back to you, Councilman.
The women's ladder match.
Okay.
I know we still have 1 qualified match between Lash Legend and Julia, but I just want to see if I'm gonna be right and if we crown Chelsea Green as champ, or if my other prediction is right and they throw us a curveball and AJ Lee becomes WWE champion. Because a 5-woman ladder match makes no sense whatsoever. It's always been even numbers. Why is it just 5 people?
Very interesting.
You hear them sounds? That's the common sense of this match getting drawn out. I was like, this don't, 5, just 5? That don't. I was like, this don't make sense. I was like, everyone else is getting added to this match.
Okay. What are you looking forward to on night 2, honey?
I am very much looking forward to hopefully adding another notch on my bingo card for this year. And I need to see Finn Balor become Win Balor. I want to see it. I need to see it. We've been waiting for it. At least I have. And I haven't forgotten about it. But I'm ready to see Finn and Sammy, and I want to see Finn win.
Well, the thing I'm looking forward to most is the end of SummerSlam.
Well, of course.
When the announcement is made and new World Heavyweight Champion Oba Femi.
Oh my Lord!
Oh man, that's why. You know what? That's why I didn't say it, because I was like, I feel like me and Professor got this. Oh yes.
Now, there's a couple of ways this can happen. Of course, honestly, it does not matter who wins between Roman and Seth, though arguably I do think it will be Roman. I think Roman will find a way to finally get this win over Seth, but it's going to be a grueling match. And at the end of it, there are one of 2 things that can happen. Thing 1 is that the lights go out. And when the lights go out, people are like, what's going on? Then the green lights hit and the music, and then we know what time it is. But I personally like the second option. Option 2, which is literally you've got Roman's music playing. Somebody presents him with the Ula Fala. He's, barely getting around, walking around. We get to Michael Cole signing off. We get to the credits. Let the credits roll. And then the GM comes out and says, hold on, guys. We're not quite done. Well, what are you talking about? Well, one man in an just unbelievable, unprecedented move has decided that he wants to use his King of the Ring option, and he wants to exercise it now.
You got to be kidding me. This can't be happening right now.
It's happening now. He insisted. He's injured, but he insisted. Ladies and gentlemen, our final match, King of the Ring, Obafemi, and let the music.
You gotta be kidding me.
Listen
Corey,
to me.
How is this happening, Corey?
That stadium, then Minneapolis will be from the ground.
Because here's the thing. You need to, because listen, you're not selling 30,000 tickets in the next 24 hours.
Nope.
You're not. Let's just accept that, acknowledge the fact that we're going to get 34,000 people one night, maybe 33,000 the next night. These guys are brilliant when it comes to production. They'll figure out how to make it look really, really great and grand. They know how to hide stuff. They're brilliant at this. But you need to create the moments that make people say, I should have been there. I should have got my tickets. I'm sorry I ever doubted you. If they don't do this, it won't be a good look. So that's what I think is going to happen. I'm holding on to that. If it doesn't happen, it's a missed moment. There are people who are talking about it could happen on Monday Night Raw. Doesn't hit the same. It's got to hit in front of the large crowd. And let's think about this. Save Survivor Series. It's the last stadium show we're getting in the States, unless, they announce Royal Rumble somewhere at somebody's stadium somewhere, because we're not getting Mania here. So I think it's an opportunity that they don't want to miss to create the kinds of moments that we'll be talking about for another 38 years. So with that said, I mentioned 38 years of SummerSlam. Hard to believe that this thing we call SummerSlam began all the way back in 1988. It is, I believe, the second or third longest running WWE pay-per-view, 85, 87. I think it's the third longest. Royal Rumble might be somewhere in there. It's a battle between the two.
It's 88?
88 was the start of SummerSlam.
It was.
So it's 38 this year?
38 this year.
Well, basically Rumble and SummerSlam are the same age.
Yeah, they're about the same age. So you got that, and a lot of amazing moments have happened. SummerSlam has really grown from its debut in Madison Square Garden in 1988 to now being a 2-night phenomenon. And so we thought it would be really, really cool to kind of talk about some of our favorite moments from SummerSlams gone by. There are lots of them. I've kind of charged us to kind of go through our top 3. We've not talked about this among ourselves, so this should be fun. I got a long list here, so I'm gonna have to narrow mine down. But in the meantime, let's get your first. I'm trying to think. Do we want to do 1-1-1, or do we want? No, let's just get all your 3 out. Get them all out.
It's not gonna be 1-1, Professor. Honey got like 12 of them. She gonna throw out.
I have 3.
Let's get your 3.
But she go first. Be like, well, I was gonna pick this one that happened.
I have my 3.
And I was gonna do this one.
No, but I have my 3.
3.
Oh God!
I have my 3, and none of them have to do with who you think I would bring up. Trust me.
Okay.
I don't know who you bring up, man.
Right. Right. Exactly. So, geez, where to start first? I mean, my first listed here favorite moment is a pretty obvious one. I want to take us back to the year of 1997, which was a fun time for SummerSlam and WWE at that point. if you guys know what I would be talking about, the first ever Hell in the Cell match with The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Sorry, that wasn't at SummerSlam.
I mean, no, that wasn't at SummerSlam. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I read the wrong thing. I'm reading the wrong thing. I'm reading the wrong thing. No. No, I meant no. Did I say? Why did I say 90?
And she's muted herself. I didn't mute her, folks. I didn't.
The computer be like, don't say nothing. Get it together. Get it together.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Wait, that's not.
Go get your reading glasses, honey, and your shawl.
Cut it out.
You do both.
Cut it out.
Oh, I can't read it. What did
it say?
Why the word so small?
All right, so let me skip that. Forget I said all of it.
Let me skip it.
Erase it from the records, folks.
Y'all are killing me. I meant to say, I said 97. Stop. Sorry, my dad. I'm getting thrown off.
Do you want us to come back to you?
Please do. I need to regroup.
Let's get her to regroup. Okay. All right. Councilman, let's try this again.
When did that happen?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Oh,
that's
God.
funny.
I'm hot.
One of my matches, of course, has now grown near and dear to my heart because whenever I get to watch this mediocre wrestler get beat up,
oh, God.
I just enjoy it. I'll take you back to 1992 when the Kool-Aid freshers were out. Nickelodeon was just at its prime. Simpsons were taking off. Bret Hart was getting his ass whooped by the British Bulldog in Wimbledon, and it was now I know what euphoria really means. Oh my God! I just every time when I rewind it, like this is y'all would get it, but this is me showing my age. It's like, do y'all remember that movie Death Becomes Her with Meryl Streep and Goldie Hawn, and she was watching Meryl Streep get choked out, and she kept rewinding it, and they would break into her house to take her to jail, and she kept rewinding it to watch her get. That's what I do with him every time, except nobody come and get me, so I just pretend I'm getting arrested. Just one more get 1, 2, 3, rewind it one more time.
That's funny. Well, that happened at Wembley Stadium as opposed to Wimbledon. But certainly that was, and oddly enough, that was the main event, which was the first time the Intercontinental Championship ever main evented a SummerSlam. So great pick, historic pick.
Yeah, very, very deserving though. Both of them.
Oh yeah, great match. Great match. What else you got?
Oh, okay. My next one is a classic. We take it back to SummerSlam 2000, the TLC match. Mm-hmm. They did it once at WrestleMania. I know everyone loves that one. My favorite one though is the SummerSlam TLC.
Agreed.
That is I feel like that's the one where it's like, if anything is the staple of what they did, it would be that one. Mm-hmm. And then my third one, I want to say it, I just don't want to take it from anybody. But either way, we go 2 years later. Because I feel like Honey would have that. I feel like Honey will have that one. So I'll save that just in case Honey says it. I'm gonna go with all the way now to 2016, John Cena versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles up John Cena run. Could not get enough of it. And that one was just because it felt like it almost felt like AJ Styles was young again, like TNA AJ Styles in that match. And I was just like, oh my God, it felt so good to see him. So those are my two.
That's it. Those are good ones. Those are very, very good ones. Honey, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Take two, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm ready and refreshed, and I'm gonna start. And I'm glad I made like a longer list than what I picked out of my list.
Was like, that's not SummerSlam.
I was like, wait a minute, and I'm hearing myself. I'm like, no, girl, that was not SummerSlam. Oops. But
no.
Something that did happen at SummerSlam that I know definitely for sure happened at SummerSlam because I remember it as a kid. I would say I wouldn't say it's like a favorite. I would just say it's like a memorable moment I remember growing up. Going back to 94. I don't know why it was interesting to me at the time. You got to think of the mind of Honey and their imagination, okay? It was goofy. It probably wasn't the best match, but it was fun and it was interesting for me. Taker versus Taker. The idea of there being two Takers in the ring was pretty freaking memorable and iconic to me. And I was just like, who's the real Taker? And Ted DiBiase bringing him in, and then the Underfaker, the imposters, and all of that stuff. I thought that was just fun. So that's one of my memorable ones.
That's a good.
My second one is definitely 2002, Shawn Michaels and Triple H. I think the emotional depth of that match, especially with how much I loved Shawn Michaels, especially then growing up, and his return and his back injury and him just stepping back in the ring like he never lost it, which he didn't. He then later on goes to, have a fantastic match with Triple H and probably one of their best matches together, I would say, when Triple H was good at telling stories. And the fact that Shawn Michaels later then won the championship later that year, it was just the comeback of HBK. It was reborn. He was reborn, restored, and he already had a Hall of Fame career by then at that point. But the comeback just made it even better. So that is definitely on my top there. My third and final, I would have to say, is going to be one that I was at, and it's actually most recent, only because of just being there. And it's really true when they say when you go to wrestling shows, it doesn't matter which, indies, main, whatever it is, because there's so much wrestling around. There's nothing like seeing it until you see it live. And being there for the moments last year that I was at last year, where CM Punk got a title. He's holding on to it. He's crying. He's happy. He puts his hands up in the air, and no later you hear, "Burn it down." I will never forget, and being there, I will never forget how I felt when it happened, seeing CM Punk's face on the screen completely change, the roar of the crowd, and the moment of Seth coming out and anticipating the fact that, oh, you're not just here to let us know you're coming for him. You're here to cash in. And it was a hell of a moment to actually witness. So those are my three.
Great moments for sure. So there are a couple that have lived with me, and I'm going to go back to the very first SummerSlam. Very first SummerSlam.
Wow.
The Honky Tonk Man is the Intercontinental Champion, the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of that era. And he was supposed to defend against Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Yes. But Brutus Beefcake had a parasailing accident that literally tore his face apart.
Oh, my God.
So nobody knew who was going to challenge for the Intercontinental Championship. And Honky Tonk Man is just standing in the ring talking about, I'll fight anybody. I'll fight anybody. Old and brash. And then the music hits and the world starts going, wait a minute, what is it? And this frenetic music with this frenetic entrance, it's the Ultimate Warrior who's going crazy. 45 seconds later, he's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, man.
It was wild. And again, Ultimate Warrior, for all that people may say about his life and times, that was a magic moment for him that really ultimately led to his star rising, and ultimately about a year and a half, almost 2 years later, becoming the WWE champion. But that was one of my favorite moments. Another one is one that nobody seems to talk about this match. But it literally is like one of my favorite matches of all time of any SummerSlam. It kicked off SummerSlam 2002. So if we go back, at this point, the whole mergers happened. WWE has bought WCW. We're a whole year in. And just right before this, we get the debut of a certain soon to be, and I say soon to be 20 years later, Hall of Famer, world champion, Hall of Famer in 2 companies. He kicks off the show with Rey Mysterio against Kurt Angle.
Oh,
If
we talked
you-
about that.
Okay, Fave. We
We
talked
talked
about
If you
that.
haven't seen that match,
Man,
good Lord.
banger
Do
with a capital B.
I mean, you've got Kurt Angle in his prime, Rey Mysterio, very happy to be here. And I'm telling you, these two put on a clinic and what I'm calling one of the best SummerSlams of all time. Because that 2002 SummerSlam had that had that Triple H Shawn Michaels match, and it had Brock Lesnar winning the world title from The Rock.
The Rock,
all in that same SummerSlam.
That same
it was
night.
wild. It was a wild, wild time. Now, there are a lot of other choices that I have on here, but kind of my third choice is a bit of a sentimental favorite, and you guys will understand why I've chosen this one. No one's talked about this one. It also happened at last year's SummerSlam. It was a match. And if you think about it, earlier in the year, we had a great triple threat match for the Women's World Championship between Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair.
Yes.
And all throughout the year, Rhea and Io had been kind of teasing things. And Rhea and Io, they get to Evolution, and they're having this incredible match. And all of a sudden, there's a cash-in. The cash-in sees us proceeding with caution as Naomi wins the world championship. Now Naomi gets to defend this title in another triple threat match against the main event of Evolution. And they have a banger, an absolute banger that sees Naomi retain the Women's World Championship, defeating Rhea and Io. What the world didn't know, and what she didn't even know, is, she probably should have proceeded with caution because she was wrestling with the smallest ooze inside of her tummy, and she would relinquish the title a few weeks later after making an announcement that she was pregnant. But it was sentimental for me because Naomi finally got her moment at a major PLE to walk in as champ and to retain the title against two of the best in the entire world. So those are some of our...
And that's that SummerSlam before somebody try to get in the comments and be like, oh, Professor said Evolution. He meant SummerSlam.
He mentions...
No. I know what I said. I set things up for you to get to SummerSlam.
I know someone gonna try to
Someone's
hit
gonna,
you.
Y'all,
they haven't learned.
If I could comment on one of your choices, Professor, the one thing that, especially with the whole memory of Honky Tonk Man and Ultimate Warrior, when you watch that match back, have you guys watched it back at any point?
Oh, I have.
Yes.
The main part about those kinds of moments that I really look at, I don't even look at what's happening. Look at the crowd.
Oh yeah.
While all that's going down. Like
They're
those are my favorite things to look at and see people's reactions and how crazy that moment was. That place probably lifted off the ground at that moment.
Yeah.
But
I almost felt bad because at those moments when you saw that, you'd be like, dang, man, I'm kind of upset that like Hogan has the running wild thing because like that is just perfect for Ultimate Warrior. Just hear them go, the Ultimate Warrior is gonna be running wild over everybody. I'm like, dang, man, we missed him to have that. But it was a spectacle when he came out. Like just like the
his entrance,
everything. It was just like, yo, like he fit the build. It was like, yo, who is this comic book character that just jumped out of the page and came in the ring, did this, and then left? It was just kind of like it was this frenzy of a blur when you just
he was like he was like the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah. It was an ultimate frenzy. So those are some of our moments. Obviously, we'd love to hear your favorite moments in the chat. Certainly, it's all leading up to tomorrow and this weekend in terms of SummerSlam. 2 nights, Minneapolis, Minnesota, And we don't even have time to talk about the fact that you can no longer watch the first hour on ESPN. If you're going to watch, you can watch. We don't.
It's with you. It's on the YouTube now.
It's so what's happening. You can watch now on the ESPN app, or you can watch, of course, the pre-show on ESPN itself. But yeah, the reasoning is that they believe that they actually was doing more harm than good to trying to get more subscribers to the ESPN app, which I understand.
Is that what they believe?
That's what they say. That's what they say. So if you're gonna watch, you have to watch it on the ESPN app. And watch nights 1 and night 2. That, and because you don't necessarily have to choose, you can also watch, of course, Black August from Ashe Wrestling coming up on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a very, very special card. I promise you're going to absolutely love it. All right, we're going to get out of here. Our time is done. Here's how you can find us on all these good socials. Honey, how can the people find you?
You could find me at, I was today years old when I found out I was the same age as SummerSlam and all things wrestling with Honey.
That's great. That's great. Councilman, how can we find you, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, huh.
Between last night's laughter and today's laughter, I don't know how you're holding it together, Councilman.
The man said they said we felt like we were hurting the subscribe. No shit. You magically discovered that, huh? Despite what everyone like, what we started thinking about? This may not be going in the direction of the fans that we needed to. But you can find me at Will Fail, PHARAOH, everywhere. Please follow my YouTube, follow my Twitch. Content comes out each and every single day. Kayfabe Podcast on Thursday. And, of course, The Faction on Saturdays. And then, sometimes we have to do special versions like this. So you want to make sure you tune in to the social media page of The Faction and as well as ourselves. So you stay up to date with everything that's going on.
Absolutely. Just as Will said, of course, you can find us here at The Faction Show. You can find me at Bonnerfide across all of the platforms. Lots of cool podcast things going on. Bonnerfide Conversations. If you're interested in non-wrestling conversation, there's that. Of course, in the wrestling world, I will be with Ashe Wrestling tomorrow night in Charlotte. So you can look for me on the YouTube channel. And if you're in person, I would love to meet you, take pictures, all the cool things. Some cool commentary things out there as well. You can check out my commentary with Southern Honor on IWTV. You can also check out some recent work I've done with the Love Alive charity, a great promotion there in Florida, which includes the Beast Cup Invitational, a big tournament honoring Shad Gaspard, and the Great American Clash that's out. Both of those are on Triller TV, so you can check those out. The last one features the first meeting between JTG and the Pope, Elijah Burke. It's a massively amazing match. So great things happening there. And of course, all that we're doing here at The Faction. Shout out to everybody who joined us in the chat live and those who will join us later. We greatly appreciate you guys. It's going to be a fun weekend in the world of professional wrestling. I hope you guys will engage, and we'll be back here next week to talk more pro wrestling as part of The Faction Reload.
Stop. Nah, wait a minute.